Hey guys, it's Paradise, and if you're looking for a new game to put on your radar, then this upcoming multiplayer extraction adventure is one to keep an eye on. It's made by veterans of DICE who have already released the finals at their new studio, which has already become a hit on its own. This game, however, has the potential to be a bunch of fun for those looking for an intense adventure in a mysterious world that you can also experience with friends. The studio have recently released some brand new gameplay footage, making it the perfect time to get you up to speed on what exactly this game is aiming to do. So let's not waste any time and dive into Arc Raiders, but do tell us what you're thinking of it and leave a like on the video if you do enjoy what we do here. Now, Arc Raiders was originally announced as a free-to-play cooperative action shooter, but in the years since its reveal back in 2021, it has been adapted and changed pretty heavily. As mentioned earlier, it is now a multiplayer extraction adventure, meaning players won't need to take on just AI but also other players. The official description of the game says earn your keep in the struggling economy of Speranza, fight for survival against ruthless Arc machines roaming the surface and other raiders standing in your way. Even though the game has been delayed a number of times, it seems to be on track for a 2025 release, and it will be releasing on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S. The studio has opted to make the scope of the title bigger, meaning they've not only shifted away from the original concept, but they're also going to release it as a premium title for around $40 and £40. The director of the game has said the following in regards to the business model change. It became increasingly clear to us during the development that a premium model is a better fit for the experience we're building with Arc Raiders. This shift allows us to focus on what truly matters for the game, creating an engaging, balanced, and replayable action survival adventure. Well, hopefully the change to a more premium model is reflected in the final product, and the game is looking pretty cool at the moment, which we would expect as this is in line with the talent they have at Embark Studio, which has a ton of talent from DICE, who made the Battlefield series. You can already see the game is looking visually impressive, especially with the environment. The world and setting of Arc Raiders has always looked pretty interesting and probably is why the studio have lent into it. We know the game is set in a post-apocalypse and in a distant future where humanity have moved on to build anew. The story revolves around the underground colony of Speranza, which has become a refuge for people desperate for supplies and shelter, and those hiding from the Arc machines that roam the surface. But in Speranza, resources are running low and the pressure to venture topside has never been higher, hence the players stepping into the role of a raider to fight and survive not just for yourself but also for Speranza, where you scavenge and hunt for vital resources found on the surface, but then you must make it back safely as well. The surface is no walk in the park with deadly Arc machines that are out to stop you, as well as other raider players that are after the same loot, fighting for their survival the same as you. It's definitely a cool setting, and we hope they do mix in some storytelling, as well as setting things up for some intense moments. The official description does make it sound like this, as they're saying, whether you're teaming up or going solo, it's a game that rewards thinking ahead and carefully observing the world around you, rather than running into action guns blazing. The gameplay is tactile, visceral, and grounded, with a rich and playful sandbox of gadgets and tools beyond just guns and ammo. So it is great to hear there will be tons of options and variety in the gameplay, and we know some of you solo lovers out there will be happy to hear that you don't need to drag randoms into a risky session as you can just go in solo. In the gameplay footage that was released, we got to see a group of 3 players teaming up and scavenging for supplies. We know that players will be exploring environments to gather vital resources while avoiding or choosing to engage enemy Arc machines and competing raiders. The cool thing is, these Arc machines can get pretty big, as we have seen in previous trailers with massive walking robots, but in this gameplay there was mostly small flying drones to contend with. But don't worry, in the gameplay we actually got to see a variety of different weapons on display, with things like pistols, rifles, and grenades which you can use against them. Something that the trailer really highlights is that you need to think strategically, as there are tons of places to hide or ambush players, meaning the choice is yours with how you want to deal with the situation. The game also includes proximity chat, which we love to have in games like this, as it can result in some hilarious situations. But if you do choose to go the stealthy route, you will also be able to use different pathways like these zip lines, But be aware that some of these alternative routes may trigger sounds that will alert other players. Just like other extraction shooters, loot will be super important and there will be many ways to get it, such as looting shops, defeating Ark machines, and plenty more, including other players. We know there will be events that can spawn around the map and that will funnel players towards high loot areas, and there'll also be hidden loot that can be accessed using items and keys. These extraction missions will have a time limit of up to 30 minutes per round, with closing extraction points creating urgency, meaning things will get spicy towards the end of a round as all of the teams are trying to use the same extraction. This gets even crazier when you take into account the fact that anytime a raider goes down, they will set off a flare that will let surrounding players know the location of a downed player. If you are able to extract the loot, then you can use it for crafting, upgrading, or selling to traders. The game will feature a workshop that allows you to craft and upgrade weapons, gadgets, and other items, and players can invest experience in skill trees to enhance specific abilities and customize your playstyle, meaning there should be a ton of progression, which is great to have in a game like this. All in all, on the surface, the game is looking pretty cool, and it's particularly interesting for fans of this type of genre because it is a third-person perspective, meaning it will be a bit more unique than traditional extraction shooters. So we are definitely going to put this one on our radar and give it a go when it drops in 2025, but how about you? Tell us below, and for now you can enjoy the gameplay with all of its glory and sounds, so you don't have to go looking for it.
This is a multiplayer extraction adventure, set in a distant future here on Earth. Players start in Speranza, one of the few places in the Rust Belt that is relatively safe from Ark machines that occupy the surface. There are thousands of people living down here, and there is always a need for vital materials from the world above. The raiders are the ones who put themselves at risk, both from Ark as well as other rival raiders, for a price. It is from here that players can reach different parts of the Rust Belt through a network of repurposed tunnels. The raider we are following is on a quest, a job to obtain a seed vault from a research facility deeper into the city. The others in the squad are after medical supplies, some rare parts, and their best lead is a pharmacy nearby.
I found some chemicals.
A red flare is a signal of a raider getting knocked down. But you never really know what happened there until you go look. Could have been a fight between raiders or Ark. You never know.
Wasp, over there.
Let's go there.
Wasp. Let's go to that tower.
They've reached the pharmacy now.
Let's get over there.
It looks like they are probably the
That's
first
subject
ones here.
here.
But you can never be sure, so it is wise to double check your corners.
Hey, Raider.
Don't shoot, I'm a friend.
You wanna split the loot? Attack the target.
Making friends in the Rust Belt is not easy, but that doesn't mean it can't happen.
the septic.
This is it.
Some plastic.
Looks like they got what they came for. And now it's time to get out of here. Everything that you find will be lost if you don't make it out alive. But raiders know this. It's what they do.
Raider, contact.
Engaging in firefights may sometimes be the only way out of a tight spot. Other times, being cautious and staying out of sight is the better option to make it out. For raiders hoping to thrive, the Rust Belt is filled with opportunities and secrets, if you know where to look. You'll have to stay vigilant up there on the surface, where an armada of ARC machines roam unchecked. Where motives of other raiders remain dangerously unclear. You'll need to be resourceful, work with what you have, and sometimes make plans on the fly. What are you prepared to risk to get what you want? Ultimately, you get to decide what kind of raider you'll become, shaping your own legacy, your raider, and your home.